This video is designed to provide you with an overview of how to set up your Intex product. It is important for you to read and follow all instructions in the owner's manual and on the product. Failure to review all product instructions and guidelines could result in injury or inadvertent damage to your products. Due to continual improvements, actual product may vary somewhat from this DVD. Thanks for buying an Intex chlorine generator filter pump system for sanitizing your pool. This instructional video is specifically for the Model 8111 Intex Saltwater chlorine generator filter pump system. You will need the following items to set up the system: a GFCI type electrical outlet, table salt, which can be purchased in quantity warehouse grocery stores, a straight bit screwdriver if hose clamps are used. Refer to the salt table in the manual for the amount needed based on your pool size. You may also wish to purchase salt test strips from your pool store for salinity testing. Let's take a quick look at the key parts of the generator. The electrolytic cell produces chlorine as salt water passes between the enclosed titanium plates. The flow sensor protects the electrolytic cell by ensuring an adequate flow of water. The electronic control station and power supply has two buttons for programming the number of hours of running time and an LED readout panel for operating time and alarm code displays. This section is for installing pools that are 16 feet and smaller. If you have a larger pool, skip ahead to the next section. Make sure to set up your system when the pool is empty. Begin installing by locating your pool's 1 1/4 hose connections. Check to be sure that the rigid connectors are in place inside the connection nipples. If not, remove any existing plugs and insert the small strainer connectors supplied with your Intex chlorinator. Next, unpack the plunger valves. Unscrew the large threaded strainer connectors and discard them. You won't need them for this size pool. But make sure you do not discard the black step washers on the plunger valve. Locate these two B adapters and connect them to each of the plunger valve unions. Make sure the plunger valves are closed. Attach the plunger valves with the B adapters to the hose connectors and the hoses to the plunger valve. Connect the hoses to the chlorine generator filter pump, making sure that the lower hose is connected to the pump motor. Now, connect the other hose to the end of the electrolytic cell. Make sure all connections are secure. You are now ready to fill the pool and add salt to the water. If your pool is already equipped with Intex plunger valves, check to see if they have threaded connections to the hoses. If so, you can proceed without draining any water from the pool. Close both plunger valves and disconnect the hoses from the old filter pump. Connect the hoses to the chlorine generator filter pump, making sure that the lower hose is connected to the pump motor and the other hose to the end of the electrolytic cell. For installation to all other pools with 1.5-inch connector holes, begin by draining the pool water to the level below the connectors. Remove any existing connecting hardware and install the new plunger valves that come with your chlorine generator system. Prepare both plunger valves for installation by unscrewing the large threaded strainer connectors from the valves. Keep the black step washers in the valves and set the valves aside. Remove the large nuts from the connectors. And from inside the pool, insert the large strainers with the flat black washers through the connector holes. Replace the nuts from outside the liner. Finger tighten the nuts and make sure they are secure. Now reconnect the plunger valves with the step washers in place to the strainer connectors. Make sure both plungers are in the closed position. Connect the hoses to the plunger valve. Then connect the hoses to the chlorine generator filter pump, making sure that the lower hose is connected to the pump motor and the other hose to the end of the electrolytic cell. You are now ready to fill the pool and add salt to the water. First, make sure all connections are secure. Now proceed to reopen the plunger valves. To prevent airlock, open the lower plunger valve first and then the upper valve. Make sure to follow the instructions in the manual to release trapped air in the hoses. The air release valve is on top of the filter tower. An additional air release valve is located just above the hose connection on the motor. You are now ready to add salt to the water. Adding salt to the existing pool water creates an electrolyte, which allows a chemical reaction creating chlorine when low voltage electricity is applied to the titanium plates in the electrolysis cell. You no longer have to buy chlorine from the store. Determine how much salt must be added to the water according to the table in the owner's manual. First, connect the chlorine generator filter pump to a GFCI type electrical outlet and switch on the unit. The filter pump will begin to circulate the water. The generator will automatically be in the standby mode indicated by a code 88 on the LED panel. Spread the salt around the perimeter of the pool evenly. Brush the pool bottom to help dissolve the salt. Do not add salt through the skimmer since it may clog. Run the filter pump for 24 hours to make sure the salt is thoroughly dissolved. Leave the system on so you can program the generator. The pump will continue to run and the generator will display a code 88 indicating it's ready for programming. Lift the clear lid to program the unit. Press and hold the down button until a short beep is heard and release immediately. Then press and hold the up button until another short beep is heard. It is important to release the button immediately. Start over if the button beeps constantly. The LED will flash 00, indicating the control is unlocked. Now you are ready to set the timer. See the table in the manual for recommended hours of operation according to the size of your pool. Press the up button once for every hour desired and the down button to reduce the number of hours if needed. When the proper number of hours is shown on the LED panel, lock the control by pressing the down button until a long beep is heard. Then press and hold the up button until another long beep is heard. The control is now locked, and the green chlorine light will come on in 5 minutes, indicating chlorine is being generated. The green light will remain on until the cycle has ended and the LED flashes 93. The LED display will become blank after 1 hour, indicating the chlorine generator is in sleep mode. Press either button to view the LED code if desired. Do not unplug the generator. It will automatically start chlorine generation again 24 hours later at the originally programmed time. If the power cord is accidentally unplugged, the system will have to be reset. Depending on local weather and water conditions and the number of swimmers using the pool, you may wish to run only the filter pump after the chlorine cycle has ended. Switch off the unit and turn it back on without programming the chlorine cycle timer. Restart the chlorine cycle the next day at the desired time. Finally, as with any chlorination system, the right balance of pool chemistry is very important. The Intex 3-way test strips provided with your generator will help you maintain the proper water balance. Use the test strip provided to determine if the chlorine level is within normal range before entering the pool. Notice that the water has a softer, pleasant feeling and the irritating effects of chlorine are absent. Now you can really enjoy your pool. Chlorine will stop being produced if low water flow, low salt, or high salt conditions are detected. An LED light will flash and a buzzer will sound for 1 hour. At that point, the unit will shut down. Restart the unit following the operating procedures as mentioned before. After restart, an LED code will again flash to indicate the specific trouble. Refer to the instructions in the manual to correct the problem. The low flow LED light and code 90 indicates low or no water flow. The problem can be caused by loose connections, water flowing in the wrong direction, plugged or closed hose lines, or the filter pump not running. A code 91 indicates low salt. Refer to the manual for adding the proper amount of salt. Do not restart the generator until the newly added salt is thoroughly dissolved. A code 92 indicates a high salt level and can only be remedied by partially draining the pool and adding fresh water. You can use a salt test strip to help you determine how much the water must be diluted. If the red service light turns on, please contact the Intex Service Center. The generator requires little maintenance since the electrolytic cell has a self-cleaning cycle. For maximum performance, it is recommended that the cell be opened and visually inspected every 3 months and cleaned if necessary. First, disconnect the unit, close the hose valves, and drain the water out of the hoses. Follow the instructions in the manual to disconnect the flow sensor and then remove the electrolytic cell. Screw the cell cover supplied with your generator onto the cell to close one end. Fill the cell with kitchen-grade vinegar and let it soak for 2 or 3 hours before reassembly. The pump filters small particles out of the pool at about 2,000 gallons of water per hour with a gentle flow. The filter cartridge will continue to clean effectively for about 2 weeks. At that time, check to see if it needs to be replaced. First, unplug the electric cord. Then, close both valves. To make it easy to remove the filter housing collar, gently open the air release valve on top. Remove the filter top collar with a counterclockwise rotation, taking the top and the filter cover off. Then, lift the cartridge out. If your cartridge is dirty or brown in color, try spraying it clean with water. If it cannot be rinsed off easily, the filter should be replaced. Insert a replacement Intex filter cartridge, item number 59905, marked with a large B. Replace the cartridge as shown and replace the filter top and housing collar. Close the air release valve. Reverse the instructions shown to put the pump back in operation. The air relief valve must be opened briefly to allow trapped air to escape.